Well, welcome along to this, the next instalment of ShrimpNet. We're back recording on a Thursday evening. So this should come out on the Friday, or you might listen to it on the Saturday before the home game versus Newport County. Or you could be watching us on YouTube. Somebody did ask, a couple of people asked me last week, does it go up on YouTube, Joel?
Yes, it does. It should be. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I uploaded it last week.
Right,
so...
okay. Yeah, no, I'm just asking. Anyway, sorry, I should have done that before we started. All right, but here we are. Welcome along. As you can, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see we've got Joel as usual. We've got Charlie from the board and a returning biscuit monster. We have Mr. Jordan Slew. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
So, where do we start? Well, last Saturday, a bit of a strange one, Jordan. We seem to be, all the games that we've played, that we seem to be pretty well. The home team in every game seems to be good in the first half, and then the away team seems to be good in the second half, and that's worked both at Walsall for our away game, and also Doncaster on Saturday, and also the home game against Gillingham when we were probably better in the first half and they were better in the second half. But
yeah,
you must have been quite disappointed on Saturday, not coming away with something, because we sort of matched them, considering the side they've got and the squad they've got. We matched them pretty well the second half and probably deserve something, George.
Yeah, probably. With all three games, really, it's been tough, especially against Walsall. I thought there was a really strong outfit. Who did we play secondly? Gillingham at home. I think we should definitely have got something out of that game. And against Doncaster, it was another tricky one. We probably could have got something out of the game. But again, like, we've got 17 new players, so we're still learning about each other.
Yeah.
There's no real panic. I mean, it's only 3 games, so there's no panic on our side. We just know that, once the first goal comes in, we get that first win, then we'll be rolling. But it's just a bit of a tricky start. The teams we played will be up there this year, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm not worried. If we've got Newport on Saturday, and we're just going there try and get our first win.
And it's obviously another home game. They've had a fairly sort of like mixed start, but they've got a lot of our old boys there. We've got obviously Shane McLaughlin, and we've got Aaron Wildig, and and they've got some other lads who obviously they lost Will Evans during the summer, didn't they? He was their sort of top scorer, but they seem to be doing okay. So they always tend to be a decent football inside Newport, which I think always gives us a chance. George, what do you reckon?
Yeah, again, I mean, what they do is not really going to alter too much what we know we can do. Again, like, obviously, there's a lot of gelling. I think in training, the camaraderie is been really good. The spirits are always high. Everyone's gelling really good together. But obviously, we're still learning about each other's play and stuff like that. But I believe it's coming together. And against Newport on Saturday, I'm fairly confident that we'll put on a much better performance than we have in the last 3 games. I'm not saying we played bad, but I think we've still got a lot more to give. I'm excited for that, and hopefully we can get the 3 points.
And looking at it in plain terms, Charlie, it's not an ideal start being bottom of the league, but we've only lost 3 games 1-0. So it's been fine margins, and that's what we spoke about last week with James and with Tom Collins. And if we happen to get the first goal, you never know what may happen, Charlie.
Every goal's been a fluke, hasn't it?
I wish we'd get a fluky one.
Benzar pinged it from 30 yards with his eyes closed in the first match.
Yeah.
We ricocheted off a guy off what's his name for Gillingham in the second match.
Yeah.
Comedy about us for the game to go against Doncaster. Yeah, I'm certainly not worried about anything. There's obviously Jordan Slew in the squad, and Derek's the manager, and we'll be okay. But I'm sure a lot more teams will lose worse than 1-0 to those 3 teams this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're probably right. And like last Saturday, an unfortunate, and obviously Stewart's come out and held his hand up and said, and goals do change games. They had a bit of a period after that, but I thought we played pretty well second half, Charlie.
Yeah, it was good, man. I don't really pay much attention to XG. I know Tom and James do. Yeah, I've been just know the XG for the game on the Doncaster game. Like we knew we had some good chances. Nearly took a couple. You just got to stick one in the back of the net and get the momentum going, really. But like Jordan says, 17 new players. It's hard for Jordan, it's for us in the boardroom, but it's so annoying having to do this every year.
Yeah, you're right.
It's so annoying.
I suspect Derek's not overly keen on it, to be truthful, but
no. But it is what it is, and we're trying to work through it. But I'm sure it's not good to lose the first 3 games, but 1-0 losses, 2 away from home against top teams. No cause for alarm at the moment, I don't think. I know probably some of the fans are probably getting a bit nervous, but I think we'll be okay. Sure, we'll be okay.
And looking at it last week, Joel, there was some pleasing aspects to it. I actually thought we played probably better against Doncaster then than we did when we played them in April, when they were on their sort of like run to get in the playoffs. I thought we matched them pretty much right across, particularly second half.
Yeah, I think ultimately you look at Doncaster away on paper, look at the run they had at the end of last season, look at their home record over the last few months. I don't think they've won something ridiculous like however many straight home games, and they've not lost at home in a very long time. And I'd say on paper that's probably one of the hardest games we're going to have this season. So I think we've probably we've matched them in the second half. We've made it a bit of a fight for them. Ultimately, we've probably gotten away with a couple. I think we obviously with that one getting cleared off the line, but overall they've not really cut through us on a great many occasions. And I think I'd say the same for the other games we've had. To be honest, nobody's really cut through us. It's been kind of odd goals here and there. Good strikes, good strikes. I mean, Gilliam's goal was a bit wacky, and obviously Doncaster, it's a bit of a mix. It's a couple of errors at the back. So we've not been out of game, and I think there have been positive signs. Like I think particularly against Gilliam, we moved the ball into the final third really nicely. It was just about having that extra little bit of magic, and ultimately scoring the goals and creating the chances. That's the hardest thing to do in football a lot of the time. Having the kind of precision and making the right decision in that moment, and having all the players kind of on the same wavelength to kind of create that opening. And with the amount of new signings we've had, there's always potential for it to take a little bit of a while to gel, and maybe that's just happening at the moment. But yeah, hopefully we can kind of continue to piece things together going forwards, really. And we've got a bit of a kind of run of fixtures coming up, and I think we probably will have a bit of a clearer idea of kind of where we are as a team, maybe in 3 or 4 weeks when we've kind of been through those fixtures, because these first 3 fixtures have been dead tough. Gilliam and Doncaster, if they finish in the top 3, both of them wouldn't be a surprise at all. And I thought Walsall, I didn't know, I really had them on my radar at the start of the season, but looking back, they've been building a side pretty steadily for the last couple of years. They're very set in how they play in that 3-5-2. Thought when they took the lead, they were dead solid. They were really hard to break down. I think they're probably going to be dark horses for the playoffs, if I'm honest. So, yeah, we've had a tough kind of run of fixtures to start things, but
Huddersfield obviously really, really good as well.
Yeah, Huddersfield as well. And I've not even mentioned them just because they were fantastic when we went away to them. So yeah, it is what it is. We're starting to gel as a squad. Hopefully, we'll see a bit more, in terms of chance creation over the next few games.
So coming back to you, Jordan, I want to tackle you something that you said there, which is quite interesting, in the fact that the spirit in the camp is obviously you're still getting to know each other, but also there's 43 games to go, isn't there? So there is no panic. And from that point of view, getting to know each other and strengths and weaknesses of the players that you play with, whether they like yourself, you like the ball, you're really good receiving it to feet and turning, but you're also really good sort of like getting one-on-one with the fullback and nudging him out the way, etc. And obviously, the lads that haven't played with you won't know that, but they'll learn it week on week. So I suppose you're doing the same with the rest of the squad, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, obviously off the field, we're getting to know each other very well. You know, like, obviously they come around the place together every day, etc. And on the pitch, like, you know, it is gelling. But yeah, I'm still learning about a lot of players. But you know, it could come. It could all come really quickly, and I think it'll help. You know, with a nice win, you know, a good few goals as well. It will always help. You know, to um, you know, just to gel us together just a little bit. You know, we just need that winning feeling right now. You know, we've come off of 4 straight losses with no goals. You know, you can't hide from that. But you know, it only takes one game to change everything. You know, if we
go this year, I think. I know we begrudge it a lot of the time, and we get a bit of money for wins and stuff. But it might be good to have a basically a friendly fixture in the midweek where we can practice, maybe score a couple of goals and get to know each other a bit more. I saw Crew they're winning 5-1 against Liverpool last night or the night before. I don't think it matters. Right. That's going to give them. Cooney scored a penalty. That's going to give them some. Just scoring 5 goals will give them a big lift, even though it's only in the FA Trophy, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, and obviously we've got the Wigan game coming up next week. That would be an ideal game to well, obviously if we get something against Newport, it'd be fantastic. But obviously, you know, you kind of be a bit more relaxed in the I will call it the Noddy Cup, because it's one of them that they changed the name every season, and it was the pizza trophy, and it's been all sorts of things, hasn't it? But it's a good opportunity. I want to come to you now, Charlie. The one thing I will say, and this has been predominant, and it's been predominant over Jordan's time with us, is the fans at home are usually pretty patient, and particularly during after the Gillingham game, that was obviously our only home game so far, and was a narrow defeat. But most people I spoke to said, yeah, pretty happy with that. The fans are fairly patient. And as long as the team are putting 100% in, we'll stick with them, won't we?
100%. That's what we're all about. We're all in it together. You know, we're all trying to get through it together, and everyone understands. Everyone who's a full fan of Morecambe will know the situation we're in. We're trying to get out of it in lots of different ways, and you know, people like everyone knows I'm Jordan Slew's #1 fan, but you know, people like Jordan and the team who are working their ass off to try and get results. No one's trying to not score any goals in these matches, but just look at the squads of those 3 teams we've played, and you know, you can see why they're good. I don't like to build this team on defence, and I think we've got a good goalie, a couple of good goalies, and we've got a really solid defensive unit. You know, so
and that leads me nicely to you, Joel, because I thought Rhys Williams looked pretty useful Saturday.
Yeah, I think you look at the pedigree he's got and some of the experiences he's had playing with Liverpool in the Champions League and the Premier League, and you obviously know there's a very, very good player there for this level particularly as well. Obviously, for whatever reason, his last couple of loans haven't quite gone to plan as much, and he's now in a situation where he's come to us and he can maybe and probably going to get quite a lot of game time, obviously, with George Ray being out till Christmas, and obviously, you know, one of your really strong centre back options being injured about 30 minutes into his debut on the first game of the season. It's not ideal. It puts a few worries in your mind, but yeah, I think the signing of Rhys Williams is probably, it's kind of allayed those worries a little bit, and obviously he's done a good job against Doncaster at the weekend, and yeah, I think in terms of defence and probably the base of midfield, I think we've looked pretty sound so far this season. It's just about getting that little bit of magic going in the final third to create those chances.
And Jordan, Rhys obviously came in. It's difficult for somebody to come in literally at the last minute before a game and settle in, but nice enough lad, and got on with everybody in the dressing room, and he performed pretty well, and given his pedigree, as Joel's already said, and he looks like it could be a useful addition.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, like he settled in very well off the pitch as well with the lads. He's a great guy. He's been training very well, and in his game, his first game was the other day at Doncaster, right? he's done. Yeah, it was. I thought he was very good. He's solid. Good with his feet. Obviously, he's very tall. He's good with his head as well. But yeah, he looks a brilliant signing for us.
Yeah, and Joel alluded to there, just a shame for George. George did well in pre-season and looked like he could be forming a good partnership with Jamie Stott at the back, and then to get injured 30 minutes in is a bit of a nightmare. And I know, it's a footballer's absolute worst thing to get injured and miss out on. You've done all that work in pre-season, you've done the hard slog, and then have you spoken to George? Has he been in? To see everybody and say what's going on?
Yeah, George is in our car school, so we speak with him almost every day. It is disappointing. Obviously, we've all worked hard, extremely hard in pre-season, should I say? And when you put all that work in, it's all going towards the first game of the season. Everyone wants to start the first game of the season. And yeah, unfortunately, after I can't remember how long he played, he's got an unfortunate injury, but he'll come back stronger. I don't think he's out for particularly too long. But yeah, he's in nice spirits. He always is. He's always, popping jokes, whatever's going on. He's a really, really happy guy. He's got a good aura about him. So yeah, he'll come back stronger. I'm not worried about him at all.
Good. Thanks for that. And Charlie, James was saying last week that obviously we did a bit of a share issue with the view to trying to help possibly strengthen the squad a bit, and we saw that with the Reece Williams signing. But can we expect anything else? Is there anything else on the table? Are we looking or what?
We're looking. I'm not sure we get any more Champions League veterans. But, yeah, Derek's looking. We've got how we got left? 22 hours.
Yeah, like that.
28 hours. Definitely trying to strengthen all areas, particularly in attack. But it's from the price of everything's gone up so much, and it's so hard to track players, and there's only so much money to go around. The usual scenario, but they usually get someone in, don't they? Usually magic someone in.
It's the one thing that Derek's good at, isn't it? Because we look at
the one thing. Don't say that; he'll kill you.
Well, no. Yeah, I said it's one of the things that he's good at. I shall change that there now. Yeah, if you look at that, he's got he got Ryan Cooney and Adam Phillips in on loan. He obviously we've had some good lads come in as well. Michael Mellon particularly, and obviously Tom Bloxham, etc. last season. So, there are plenty of. It's just finding that little diamond, possibly. I mean, I don't know what the situation is, but I know Blackburn and Burnley have got a lot of good young lads. So they seem to have a good production line, don't they, Joel? It'd be nice to get somebody in, just to sort of pep it up a bit.
Yeah, although I imagine Fleetwood, unfortunately, might have a bit of dibs on Burnley lot now. Charlie Adam obviously being their former loan manager, but yeah, that's the thing. Let's be honest, I've got absolutely no idea what kind of gems are lying around in footballing academies up the pyramid in the northwest and across England. So it's a hard thing to comment on, really. But obviously Derek will have people he's got his eye on. He'll have contacts in the game. He'll have a few players he's probably tracking. So we'll just have to wait and see until by tomorrow at 11 o'clock to see who we might be able to bring in and see what they might be able to add to the squad.
Yeah, I'm thinking Federico Chiesa would be handy, but Liverpool beat us to it. But there you go, we can't have it all, can you? So
I know,
yeah. Right, I'm gonna. I presume you've got some probing questions for our guest, Joel, because you always have more interesting questions. I just asked Jordan about what biscuits he's eating. What were they anyway?
Digestives.
Oh, chocolate ones.
Dark chocolate digestives, yeah.
Oh, dark chocolate. That's me sold.
Yeah.
Not keen on the milk chocolate ones. Anyway, sorry. That's as interesting as I get. Joel, I'll hand you over to Joel.
I'm still on milk chocolate. Maybe when I grow up, I'll get more into dark chocolate. But yeah, Jordan, obviously coming back again this summer. How much was that a kind of case of Derek kind of coming back in here and then picking up the phone to you and saying, Jordan, do you fancy coming back to Morecambe again?
Yeah, definitely. It was obviously it was very tricky at the end of last season. Obviously the club was in a bit of a, what should we call it? A bit of a tickle, we'll call it. So I didn't think there was able to. I didn't think it was possible for me to come back. But obviously, having speaking to the gaffer in the summer, like I was as soon as I spoke to him after the call, I thought I'm actually going back to Morecambe. I knew straight away. He reassured me that things will be done properly. And I know what he wants. I know what he wants from me and from the rest of the team. So, and I always enjoy myself. I've enjoyed every season underneath Derek. So, it's a pleasure to be back as well. Everyone knows I love this place.
No, definitely. And I kind of think putting the squad together, obviously we've had a tricky start, but in terms of the profile of the squad, it's quite interesting because I thought last season was very different. The squad was very different to your time here the first time round. Obviously, we had quite a lot of young players last season, whereas the promotion squad that was probably had a bit more experience in it. And I think in that sense, I think this squad this season is probably a bit more similar the promotion squad in the kind of experience it's got. And I wonder what your thoughts are on the squad this season compared to last season.
Well, yeah, again, it's obviously much older, a lot more experience. But yeah, it's very different. Like last year, we had a lot of loans, very young team, but a lot of energy. So, and this year it's a bit older, which makes me feel a bit better because I kind of felt like a dad last year.
We had that conversation, if you remember.
Yeah, it makes me feel a bit better that there's a good few players in the 30s. But yeah, there's a lot, and there's a good portion of experience in our team now, which will help us in vital periods of the season, especially towards the end, when hopefully we are, in the top three or fighting for the playoffs.
So we're certainly saving money on nappies this season, Jordan.
I think
literally, yeah.
Would you have been second? I think were you second oldest last season?
Oh, he likes to remind you of that, doesn't he?
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Oh.
I think I'm second old. I think if I'm right, I'm second oldest again this year. It's only Jan that's older than me, but
but that's why you re-signed him. That's why you re-signed him, so you're not oldest.
It's actually like crazy when I sit and think about it, like I'm second oldest when it didn't seem 2 minutes ago that I was one of the youngest. So it's a bit crazy, but I'm happy because there's a good few players in the 30s, 31, like 30, 31. So I'm fine with that 20. But like last year there was a big age gap. Like I was 31 last year, 30, 31, and like most of the lads were 19, 20, oldest was 23. It was tricky.
It's the culture gap, isn't there? There's a massive culture.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joel, carry on.
No, I was just going to say they even made me feel older every time they got on the podcast, even a few years younger than me. But yeah, no, it's quite a turnaround. And kind of going back to the fixtures, I think as fans, obviously we do a lot of talking about the fixtures and the games, and I think one thing that I've felt is that the fixture list at the start has been particularly tough. But I don't know. But from the kind of perspective of yourself and the squad, do you kind of look at certain runs and think that's particularly tough, or that's not too bad, or is that kind of just noise that you kind of block out?
Yeah, it's noise I block out. I can't speak for everybody. It's like everyone's brain works differently, but for me, it's just one game at a time, and I don't really feel like we're playing. I don't know, the top team in this league. I'm gonna think different or try and play different. I just go out and enjoy myself, and and do what I do. I don't like to overthink things. That's just me personally. But obviously, there's other lads in the team who they might come up against a player and they feel like they need, might need to up the training that week. Everyone's different. That's the beauty of football. Everyone's just completely different.
kind of talking about having those kind of different personalities. I think we've touched on it before, and obviously the goal issue. We're still waiting for one, but do you feel it is one of those things with goals? It's a bit of confidence that when you get that first goal, do you think maybe things will start to click a bit more and
Yeah,
be more confident?
definitely. Goals change games, and when a player scores a goal, it's like the best feeling you can have. So it will, and that will give confidence for that player and for the rest of the team. It's just when it comes, I think it'll change a lot, and I think things will start going in our favor from that moment.
And kind of from the dressing room perspective, is there much concern about the goals, or is it just one of those things where it's just how the games have gone? You just got to keep attacking yourself?
That's the thing with experience. I think like if you had a young team, maybe there might be some kind of a panic in there. But with the experience we have, it's not even come up in a conversation. Like no one's worried. Like we're only 3 games in, so nothing's won in August. So we know that we have to take it up a little bit. And once that win comes, we know we'll be fine.
No, yeah, great. Thank you very much, Jordan. Yeah, back to you, Freez, if you got anything to ask.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's quite refreshing actually, because Joel's quite right. We tend to look at the sort of holistic picture of who we've got coming up, and we're always looking at the next 5 or 6 games and thinking maybe they're a little bit easier than the games that we've started with, etc., etc. And it's just interesting to hear that being the player for the team, people react in different ways, and you like to sort of like keep in that bubble with the next game's the important one. Is that right?
Sorry, say that again. Sorry.
I said you like to sort of concentrate on the next game. You want to be in that bubble where the next game's the important one. Doesn't matter who it is. It's just like that's the important one. Yeah. That's the one I look to, and then I'm not bothered about what comes after that. I'll sort that out when it comes.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. That's how my mind works. That don't there's no team to be feared. Every team's going to be tough to win, and there's it's just one game at a time. You can't think about. So we got Newport Saturday, and then thinking about games after that. It's just one game at a time. Because if you're taking on 2-3 games and thinking about, it's just, I think for me personally, it's just too much. So my only focus now is Newport on Saturday.
Right.
Sorry,
and obviously, go on.
I just thought as well, actually, like that kind of like obsessive thinking about all the fixtures in the games. I guess from a fan's perspective, the football teams we support, there are kind of getaways from work, and
yeah.
I kind of distract myself from I wind down by having a look at the football stuff and seeing what's coming up. But I guess from yourself as a player's perspective, obviously you love football and you love playing it, and I don't think you get this far in football without having an extra vested interest in it. But at the same time, it is your day job essentially, and I guess you've kind of got to find other ways of switching off from that, haven't you?
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
So what do you do to switch off besides eating dark chocolate digestives?
Well, recently, because pre-season has been so hard. So in the car, we've noticed in the car last year, it was just a bit more bubbly, shall we say? But we've after training's intense every day. Yeah, it's hard work. It's enjoyable, very enjoyable, but it's very intense. So in the car on the way home, whoever's not driving is basically either asleep or half asleep. But in my off time now, I've just been a bit lazy, just sleeping on my sofa, just watching a film or something. I've actually not done too much, socializing since we've got back.
So are you a Netflix? Are you an Apple TV or a Disney man?
Apple TV.
Oh, do you know? I'm with you. I feel like I'm advertising Apple TV because I got it by my daughter said, "Oh, you need to watch Ted Lasso." So I was like, "Okay." So I changed my mobile contract and I got 3 months Apple TV. Well, it's the best thing I've ever had. It's bloody brilliant. I've not watched it. It's crap yet. I've just persuaded the wife to start watching Slow Horses because I've done all 3 series, and I'm watching them and they're still just as bloody good. But anyway, I digress. So Yeah, Apple TV. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah,
It just helps you switch off, doesn't it?
that's what I mean. Just to switch off and just do nothing for a bit. You know, I've done that. I've had to do a lot of stretching and stuff, and there's like because we don't. I don't think we usually at the ground we don't. I don't think we leave till about, I don't know, maybe 2-3 o'clock. And so by the time we get home, it's 4:30 to 5 o'clock. I just want to do nothing.
Yeah.
You know, at the minute, like on my days off, like I'll have my son, so like I've got to be busy and running around with him. But
How old is he?
he's 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 I know what that feels like. I've had 3 grandkids all day Tuesday, and I was like, I couldn't. I was falling asleep watching Apple TV Tuesday night.
Just to quickly pick up on the stuff about pre-season as well, I've noticed a few players have said this about the pre-season being particularly hard, and obviously you've had a few pre-seasons under Derek, and has this been a particularly hard one that Derek's administered?
It's I won't say it's like being harder. They're pretty much the same, slightly altered. But it doesn't get easy because I've done it 3 or 4 times. It's still they're still really hard, but you know, we'll benefit from that. I think maybe mid-season, towards the end of the season, you know, when a lot of teams start tiring, we'll just have that extra gear to keep going.
Yeah, it's usually when the weather closes in and the pitches get heavier, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah,
sorry, go on.
Yeah, as like I said, like obviously the work needs to be done. You know, we are athletes at the end of the day, so we need the proper training to be able to perform. So you know, it's a bit gruesome, but like, you know, it's done now, and you know, I think it will benefit from it in the months to come.
And so come to you now, Charlie. You've got a couple of things to impart, some knowledge from the boardroom, I believe.
Yeah, just tag on that Jordan thing there. But I think that's why Jordan's done so well with Derek, where he's not enjoyable pre-season, but you secretly seem to enjoy it a little bit, Jordan, I think. But you don't moan, you get on with it, and you really fit in well there. And when you talk about the attacking stuff, when you just do your thing, Derek just lets people be quite free in attack. And that fits well with your way of doing things, isn't it? So that's one of the reasons why you've done so well with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're pretty good at working back though, Jordan, aren't you? That's always been part of your game when you played for us anyway. And the fact that Eric's always likes you to do the defensive side, but then you know, you've got your freedom to go and charge at fullbacks and elbow them out of the way.
Yeah, well, that's working backs. Like that's just a no choice. That's something that has to be done in the Derek, or you're getting pulled off. It's as simple as that with him. So yeah, that's what I mean. That's why it works brilliant, because I know what he wants from me, and you know, and I know what he wants. So it works perfect. And I know that, like, you know, if a right back or left back's bombing on and I just stand still, like he's bringing me off, but all he wants is the effort, you know, and he knows what I can do running wise. So, you know, it's just part of my job that I have to do.
Now, I know how many times he's re-signed you for us, but how many times has he signed you overall?
Is it 4 or 5?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I think I said to you last time, have you got a compromising pictures of him or something that he has to keep signing? Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think it's just a case of, like, I've known him 10, 11 years now. So you know, first time when we were in Scotland, you know, him and his dad George really looked after us. Obviously, we're going to another country basically to, you know, to play football, and they both helped me settle in really well. So from then on, we've always had a good relationship. Every time I see his dad as well, like, you know, it's like I seen him yesterday. Like, he's, you know, both 2 great guys. So, you know, it's really good to, you know, to play for him.
We did have some sort of match. Did we do a match this week, a couple of days ago, Jordan?
Did we what? Sorry,
friendly game a couple of days ago.
I'm not allowed to speak about
Yeah.
that.
Charlie's just dropped you in it. Come on, Charlie. What happened?
I'm not sure how to talk about it, but we had a positive behind doors match where we played quite well.
Did we score?
I think we can say yes, can't we?
You're allowed to say yes. Jordan's not allowed to speak, apparently.
We scored at least one goal.
Oh.
in
You heard it here first. Hooray, we're
in a secret match.
I'm waiting for Joel to say who scored it.
So I don't think we can say any more than that, but I'm sure we can say in training we had a match and we scored at least one goal and we won.
So that's good. And I'm presuming it wasn't. We weren't playing the Dagenham Gale Pipers or Doncaster Bells or 11 Dustbin.
For the record, Jordan didn't say anything there. I said I pointed a little bit too much, but not quite too much.
All right, I'll leave that there.
Just to mysteriously put out there, I did play in a charity football match a few days ago in which we conceded 9 goals. So was it against me? Could have been. It wasn't.
I know. I saw that picture of them boots. What was them boots about?
And then we had our first university tour around the university student tour around the ground on Wednesday. We had 137 foreign students.
Really?
From all over the world coming around the Mazuma. Toured around by Matt Smith and Martin and Rod Taylor.
Did they get a pie?
Well, I hope so. I'll never forget when the owner of Charlton was Danish.
Yeah.
I said to the owner's wife, "You must try a pie." Gave her a pie. She was like, I could just tell she's like, "What the hell is this?" So I need my pie like this, and she got a knife and cut the top off the pie.
Yeah.
Discarded the top and ate the filling only out of the middle of the pie with a knife and fork.
Strictly a no pastry girl.
I was like, we can never be friends.
No.
Yeah. So the university tour thing's been going well, and the secret non-match.
Yeah. So we managed to prize that one out. Have you got anything else?
I had a big one, but I've been told I can't say anything.
Oh, for God's sake, you can't say that and then say you can't say anything. I had a big one, but I'm not allowed to say anything. That's what we've got to do. Stay tuned.
Wait till they rule me.
We'll have to stay tuned for next week to see what that is.
I did well yesterday in the DP World Tour British Masters.
Yeah, I was going to say, was that golf as per usual?
I played in the Disabled Rider Cup in America in beginning of last month.
Yeah,
amazing. And we lost by a point, 12.5, 11.5.
Oh.
And yesterday I played with the number 3 in the race to by Jesper Svensson, future superstar of golf, and we came second by a point. But I met Nick Fowler and got a nice trophy.
Oh, nice. Well done, you. So that's your big news, really.
That's big news, yeah. But all in all, we're keeping on trucking along. The squad's hopefully getting more gel together. We're nearly in the transfer window. We got some on paper easy games coming along where we can hopefully get some goals. I think the game against Wigan will be good to maybe get some more match practice between us. And if any fans are worrying about stuff, hopefully Jordan and I have allayed any worries tonight because we feel pretty good about it.
So it would be remiss of me not to. I know you're not going to tell me, but is the big news something to do with the new owners?
It's not actually, no. It was a different.
All right, okay. Well, like I say, it would have missed me, so that's good. We've ruled that one out.
As James did last week, there's things in the pipeline there. We're further along than we've ever been. We're not quite there yet.
Right. Okay. Thanks for the update. And Shrimps Trust have got a complete new board.
Well, not complete new board. I say it's about 50% new board. We've got somebody rejoining on the board, obviously. So, yeah, we've got a few new members.
Can't get rid of Pat, can you?
Well, You didn't hear that from me. No, it's good to have Pat back on board. Obviously, he's been doing a great job putting together the coach travel as well for this season.
Transport man.
I know, which is the long cursed away coach travel from Walker FC.
He's the Mick Lynch of Shrimp's Trust.
Yeah, but so I'm actually off to a meeting just after this. We're going to kind of speak about who's going to be taking on the key new roles, such as chair and secretary and treasurer. If you can guess who the treasurer might end up being, we'll just make sure to update people in due course on that.
Well, that's brilliant. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there. Let Jordan finish his day off. George,
one more thing. I just reread Rod's notes about this university tour. The students from the USA, China, and Malaysia, and enjoyed a interactive pie making demonstration.
Well, yeah, I think you could be selling that. I think I'd like to do that myself.
Yeah, make your own pie.
£10, make your own pie.
Yeah,
as long as it had peas and gravy, I'd go for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. So there we are. That's been ShrimpNet. Jordan, thank you very much. I know you came on a couple of times last season, and we hope to see you again. And when you're in the carpool, just say to people on there, you can go on this. You know, they are quite nice. They don't bite.
I will do.
We were looking actually forward because Matt Smith actually let it slip that George Ray is incredibly funny and incredibly quick, and so I was looking forward to getting him on at some point. Yeah, so I you know, if he sat in the car next to you, say, George, we've got you earmarked for the in a couple of weeks' time, but we'll see how it goes. But Jordan, thanks for doing this. Good luck on Saturday. I like to say, if you're not worried, I'm not worried. If you set one up, great. If you score one, even better. Wave at us in the stands.
No, I appreciate it, guys.
Cheers, Jordan.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie. Absolutely brilliant as always. Thanks for the update. Joel, as usual, more pertinent questions than I could ever think of asking. Join us next week when we'll chat about Newport and we'll chat about the Colchester home game upcoming, but also how we scored all them goals at Wigan in the Tim Pop Cup. See you then.